Hey guys, today's video is on multiple digit division, and this can be a tricky topic, so I'm going to go through I think 6 examples, and hopefully that'll help clarify some problems you're having. Alright, first, 3 into 96. So our first step is to come to the closest number and see how many times 3 can go into that. So 3 can go into 9, well, 3 times. And we're going to write that directly above the 9. Okay? So now, 3 goes into 9 3 times. Now, we do 3 times 3 and write it underneath. And that's 9. So, now we subtract. 9 minus 9 gives us 0. Notice I left this 6 and didn't do anything with it. That's totally intentional. We're only going to go one number at a time if we can. So now I need to take care of that 6. So I'm going to bring that 6 right on down. And now I have how many times does 3 go into 6? Well, 3 goes into 6 2 times. And now again, 2 times 3 gives us 6. I need to subtract again. 6 minus 6 is 0. So here's our division problem. 3 goes into 96 32 times. Alright, let's look at this next one. 228 divided by 4. Okay. Can 4 go into 2? No, it can't. So I can't just use one digit like I did there. I'm going to have to use 2 this time. Okay, so how many times does 4 go into 22? Well, the closest I can get is 20, because 4 times 5 is 20. So I'm going to write up here 5, because that's as close as I can get to 22 using just 4. Okay, so now I need to multiply. 5 times 4 gives me 20, so I'm going to write it right underneath. And now my next step is subtract, so I got to subtract. 22 minus 20 is 2. Okay, now 4 can't go into 2, so I need to bring down this 8 to 4 goes into 28. How many times does 4 go into 28? Well, 4 goes into 28 7 times, and that goes in evenly. So 7 times 4 leaves me with 28. I subtract, and I'm going to get 0. And that's all I need to do. So 4 goes into 228 57 times. Or we can say 228 divided by 4 gives me 57. Alright, our next one, 7 goes into 175. 175 divided by 7, same thing. Okay, look at the first digit that I come to, and that's a 1. Well, can 7 go into 1? No, it can't. So I need to go to the next number. Does 7 go into 17? Yeah, it does. Okay, how many times can it go into 17? Well, it can only go in twice. Because 2 times 7 gives me 14. My next step is to subtract. So 17 minus 14 leaves me with a 3. 7 can't go into 3, so I got to bring down that 5. 7 goes into 35. Well, 5 times. So 5 times 37 is 35. And there's my answer. I wrote this a little too close. Alright, so 8 goes into 2. Nope, can't do it. 8 goes into 20. Okay, yeah, that goes in. How many times does 8 go into 20? Well, I can fit 2 8s in there. I can't fit 3, but I can fit 2, so I'm going to put 2. Alright, 2 times 8 gives me 16. I'm going to subtract. 20 minus 16 gives me 4. Got to bring down that 4. Now 8 goes into 44. How many times does 8 go into 44? Well, I can get close. I can get to 40 because 8 times 5 gives me 40. Okay. Here's a problem. I am out of numbers to bring down, but I still have some left. If your question asks for a remainder, here it is. So you could write it as 25 remainder 4. Or if it wants you to go to a decimal, you can do that by adding a decimal and adding a 0. Now I'm going to bring that 0 down as a placeholder. Okay, and if I add a decimal, I have to add one right above it in my division line. So 8 goes into 40 5 times. So there's two answers that you could get for this problem depending on what your question is asking. If it's asking specifically for a remainder, go here. If it doesn't say give me a remainder, go here. Okay? It's better to write it out and go to the decimal than not. But if you're asked for a remainder, just give that. So okay, I'm going to pause for a second and write these on a new piece of paper so we have some room to do it. Hold on. Alright, that's better. Now, we have some different kind of problems here. We have 2 digits out front and then a couple of 3 digits on the inside. Okay? We're going to do the same process that we just were doing, but we're going to see how many times 12 can go in. And because 12 or any 2-digit number out front isn't going to be able to go into a single digit, you always have to start with at least 2. Okay, so how many times does 12 go into 15? Well, it can only fit once. And then I multiply, so 1 times 12 gives me 12. 15 minus 12 leaves me with 3. I need a new pen. This one's dying. And now I got to bring down the 6. Okay, how many times can 12 go into 36? Well, 3 times. Because 3 times 12 is 36. So there's my answer. So 156 divided by 12 gives me 13. Alright, for this one, we have 11 going into 154, or 154 divided by 11. Okay, start with 2 digits. How many times does 11 go into 15? Well, just once. 1 times 11 gives me 11. Need to subtract. 15 minus 11 gives me 4. I bring down my 4. 11 goes into 44. Well, 4 times. 4 times 11 is 44. Subtract. I get 0. I'm done. 154 divided by 11 is 14. Alright, there are going to be a couple example problems. I hope you try them. These can be difficult, but you just got to remember. How many times does it go in? Write it, multiply, subtract, and repeat. Bring down. I forgot to say that too. How many times does it go in? Multiply, subtract, bring down, and repeat until you have nothing left. Alright, thanks.